town, nothing goes on.
Yeah.
Bring your books, your bike, your yoga mat.
I've only ever been there in the winter and loved
Okay.
it. Like all very, very off season.
Yeah.
And even just driving in the main downtown, those houses are beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah, we've been going there for a few years. Allows us to do some birding in the park and just kind of, release ourselves from the city energy.
Yes.
Takes a few days.
Yes, I
Good to be back, though.
understand.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Hey, all right.
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
something.
I know. Did you try to come to class that day?
No.
Okay, you just heard.
Got an email about it being canceled for the reason.
I was on my way over here on Washington and Eric texted and I was like, well, I guess I'll turn around. So I never saw it, but then Tuesday night, it's as if nothing had happened. So.
And the Surf Pro people who showed up.
Hi, how are you? Good. Hi, Cosmo, how you doing? Okay. Alex and Kashika. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, yay. I think almost everyone's here. Hi, y'all. Hello. We'll start in just a moment, but I think everyone has everything. We'll use all the props this afternoon. Just get some time to roll with therapy balls, a strap, a blanket, and a couple of blocks. And then anything else you'd like to grab onto. But we made it through the rain. I know, humid. As I walked from the car to here, it felt like a layer of sheen on my skin. I'm like, I'm not even moving. But we'll see if we can use that to our advantage. Hi, welcome. Okay. Hi, Fran. All right, y'all, we'll get started. August, the Sunday of the summer. But there's still so much more to go, so I'm happy we all made it to class here together. There's just a couple new people to me, and if I didn't get a chance to say hi to you all, my name is Anisha. Thanks for coming. Announcements-wise, there's a event happening on Friday. Is anyone signed up for it? The Sound Ocean with Michael Garden? I believe it's a sound bath that's happening on Friday. Elizabeth Zach has been doing a lot of them on Sunday evenings throughout like the calendar school year, and they've been so lovely and beautiful. And so I think the summer tradition is carrying on, where this Friday here from 7:15 to 8:30, a sound bath, which will be a nice way to ring in the rainy week. The whole did anyone see the weather app? Every single day it's just rain, 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 rain. But we get pockets of this, so we'll take it when we can get it. All right, this will be the last week because last Wednesday someone did come up to me after class and was like, can we please do something different? So I've responded, but we're gonna do it for a little bit longer and then revisit something new. So for this is the third week, unofficially, I've been teaching the same pose and the same mythological story for the past couple of weeks. And it's the story of Lord, hi Alex, come on in, of Lord Hanuman, the great Lord, one of the great lords of yoga, who, if we remember, has the face of a monkey, the body of a human, and a very, very long tail that helps him fly, leap in full splits from one known universe to another. One of the last week, Keyshawn, who you guys might know from practicing here, he also owns, hi Alexis. He also owns More Vintage Archive right on 4th Street. He texted me right after class, and I thought this was the greatest, not tagline, but review for splits. He said, I feel like my legs are 100 feet long. I could walk a catwalk. And I said, Paris, France, here we come. So you might hear full splits in the beginning of class and think, However, there is an infinite amount of options and variations, and the aim of the game of any of the yoga poses in our tradition and in the kind of lineage of practice that we practice from, it's less about seeking the form of the pose, like aiming to get into the full split, but the actions that you take in each breath that you're in of the shape itself. So we'll see where it takes us. But before we start moving, one quick story to share about Hanuman, just to make this pose a little larger than life. So the first week, it was the story of Hanuman as a kind of mischievous little child trying to jump into the sky and bite the juicy mango, but it in fact turned out to be the god of the sun. And Surya, the god of the sun, punished him by throwing a lightning bolt at his jaw and making him temporarily forget that he could fly in full splits. Until last week, Hanuman grows up and he's in the forest of Ayodhya. I said this to you last week, but I'm telling you 100,000 verse tale in 3 minutes or less. So there's a lot more fill-in to this story, but just as a quick review, last week's story was when one of the people in the forest with Hanuman, Lakshman, got poisoned. And the only way to save Lakshman was to find this very obscure antidote somewhere where it was completely unknown. And spoiler alert, Hanuman finds it. He goes to the place, he lifts the mountain, he brings the mountain back, and we did 4 splits last week. This week we won't do as many, but something slightly different. But today's story is one story that Hanuman is most infamously known for. So I mentioned that he has a really long tail that helps him navigate the winds so that he can leap in these full splits. And to this story, his tail gets him into a little bit of trouble. So he's still in this forest of Ayodhya. He's in his home. He's with the people that he's made relationships with for the past 14 years, for a very long time. And throughout these 14 years that this prince and princess, Ram and Sita, have been banished, all sorts of chaotic and very beautiful things happen. And one of the chaotic things that happens is that the princess Sita gets kidnapped, and no one knows where she is. No one knows where she's gone. And in the forest, all those that are remaining are dumbfounded and also called to action, but they don't know which direction to go in. She kind of evaporated into thin air. And again, Hanuman comes to the story and he says, I don't know where she is. I don't know how to find her. I don't know what I'm going to do if and when I do find her, but there's something within me that's calling upon me to take this task on. None of the rest of you seem able to do it in a loving way, and I am the one who's able to take this task. So he does what he does best, 1 foot in the forest of Ayodhya. He takes a full flying split leap and lands in the kingdom of Lanka. And as he's searching around, he sees Sita is there. Fast forward, there's a lot more. He gets kidnapped, he gets punished, for the sake of Monday at noon, he finds her and he takes her back and he's carrying her in his arms. And Ravana, the great demon king of Lanka, he's the one, if you ever look at pictures of him, it's phenomenal. He has 10 heads on one body, and each head has a different face, and it's thought to represent that the 10 heads signify all of the different emotions in the human experience. And so here, as the demon, he sees Hanuman leaping in the heavens with Sita in his arms, and he sends one of his cronies to set Hanuman's tail on fire. And so Hanuman's tail is on fire, and he's tapping it on all of the buildings and slowly catching the entire kingdom of Lanka on fire as he leaves. He delivers Sita back to the forest. He looks at his tail, and despite it being fully on fire, there's not a burn or a singe anywhere to be seen. And it's because as Sita sees his tail on fire, she's praying to the god of fire, Agni, and says, I know your force is very powerful, but please do not singe or burn him or harm him in any way. And her devotion, her act of service plays to his benefit. So, the end. 7 minutes. We're going to move in a second. But there's a reason, I'll tell you the reason why I like to share this story as we start to practice. But the true metaphor of Hanuman, the reason why we bring him into a yoga practice is because he is the Lord of devotion. He is able to, not for any consequence, not for any boon, not for any gift, he is able to take everything that he has and give it in reverence to those around him, to be able to take control and to take care of those who he cares for the most. So as we practice today, I have a whole thesis of things to say to you about it, but we do some more splits, and then next week we do something a little bit different. So together we'll begin in as comfortable a way to be as possible. So if you'd like, you can definitely start lying down on the floor. You might start in a seat with your legs crossed, or seated up on your knees. But if you are taking a seat, you might see what it feels like to sit up on any gentle propping onto the edge of your blanket or up onto your block so that your hips come a little bit higher than your knees to allow for your low back to lift and lengthen. And as your hands rest anywhere they fall, let your eyes soften or close so you can listen for your own breath. When you close your eyes, it's a moment in time to see yourself more clearly than before. To let each soft and steady breath dissolve the day and the morning that was. To let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every round of breath that comes after creates a little more room and space for what has yet to come. So without the need to shift or change or alter your breath in any way, can you see where your breath prefers to be this afternoon? For some of us, it stays higher up in the chest and more in the front of your body. And as you notice your breath, can you feel it slowly begin to deepen? Let your next inhale move from your nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale, feel the breath move up and out through the very top of your head, so your head might rest above your heart, and your heart sits above your hips. Take a few more breaths just on your own. Let each breath move in and down as it fills you up. And each exhale pours itself up, out, and through you. Let's begin our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, begin to draw your hands to center, anywhere that might feel for you. Wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And keeping a thread of that connection inward, let your hands slowly release. Start to blink your eyes open. And come forward today to tabletop to start to link your breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. So you might bring your blocks to frame out the front corners and sides of your mat. If you'd like a blanket under your knees for some extra padding, please feel free to use it. But in today's table, bring your hands as wide as your mat. Let the pinkies even graze the edges. With your knees under your hips, start to curl all 10 of your toes under. And now moving with your breath, begin to round and arch your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow. Really feeling your breath and body start to harmonize together. Let's go for 5 breaths here on your own at your pace. And again, maybe it feels supportive to stay in that slow 1 breath per movement. Or you might stay in the rounded or arched shape for a few extra cycles of your breath. but let that breath be an offering to your own body itself, slowing down the next breath in and really lengthening the entirety of your exhale out. As you come back to table, find your neutral spine one more time. And this time you'll keep your upper body where it is and watch for your props or folks behind you as you take a calf stretch. Reach your right leg back, curl the right toes under, and reach through your right heel to see what you feel in the back of the leg. You might stay still. Your heel might move slowly back and forth. But as the heel goes back, whether your eyes are opened or closed, can you slide the bottom of your heart forward? Let the back and sides of your neck grow longer. After a few breaths on this first side, let your breath allow for you to switch. Bend your right, reach back through the left, and take notice of side two as you listen for and really remember the fullness of your breath. Now come back to table, find your neutral spine one more time. Keeping your low half where it is, begin to walk your hands a few handprints forward of your shoulders. Curl your toes under and take it up and back to downward facing dog as your hips lift up towards the ceiling. In your down dog, you might pedal your heels one at a time. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But can you remember that breath just as you did when you were seated not so long ago? A slow breath in and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now at the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels. Soften your knees, peek forward, and one foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. With your hands on blocks or fingertips out in front of you, bow in towards yourself, let your head be heavy. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften the knees to give your low back some space, but a deep breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth, bowing towards your own self, your own being. After a few breaths, let your hands come up to your hips. Stand down through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. With your feet right under your hips, on an inhale, reach your arms forward and up to the ceiling. As you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. Inhale lengthens you halfway, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms, and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. We'll take a few breaths here, so feel free to keep the knees lifted or tap them to the floor behind you. But see if your hands can come as wide as your mat. And now without moving your hands, energetically hug the palms together. Feel the forearms and the biceps ignite. Now slide your ears back so your head comes in line with your heart. A big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Keep those hands wide. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 deep breaths here on your own. You know, you hear these mythological stories of characters and tales outside of our own body and being. A lord with the face of a monkey, a body of a human, and a long, long tail doing full splits. It's sometimes a story that can stretch your imagination to different places. But the beauty of these mythological stories is that every aspect of Hanuman is a version of ourselves. You are the devoted. You are the one that comes to place and comes to step when nothing else can be taken care of. So as an act of your own devotion to yourself, can you take a slower breath in to fill your belly and into your chest? And as you exhale, offer the breath out through every direction of you to create more space for more of your own self. At the bottom of your exhale, start to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, to your standing forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine. And on your exhale, fold in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach your arms up, get a drop taller than you've been. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. One more time with your breath, more than my voice. Inhale to reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, fold, Uttanasana. On your inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, step it back to plank pose. A full round of breath here in your plank. Look forward. And as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower Chaturanga Dandasana. With those hands wide, inhale to rise for Cobra, Bhujangasana. And as you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop or puppy for 3 more breaths here on your own. It's that breath that moves first in the direction of your heart, the very center of you. Your heart, then that awakens the mind, and your mind that inspires the full brilliance of your body. As you take a longer breath in from belly into your heart, as you exhale, can you press down and forward through your hands to lift your butt up and back to the wall behind you? Now at the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, to your standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, try to tone the belly to support your low and mid back. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Use your own fists to measure those feet about 2 fists width apart, relatively hip distance. And with your toes pointing ahead, bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your hands up to your thighs for this round of chair pose. Now let that butt get heavy. Can you guide your knees open towards those second and third toes and slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back? Stay here. If you want to add some heat in the upper body, maybe your arms reach up overhead, but remember the breath. A longer breath in and down, and a deeper breath out as your butt gets heavier and you lift your gaze even away from the floor. Now inhale to come up to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the ceiling, and as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. And now spin your left heel to the floor like Warrior Two. You'll start to walk your hands 1 block or 1 palm at a time to the top left corner of your mat for this hybrid pose called Down Dog Lunge. As if you were to split it in half, from your hips up, you're in downward facing dog. From your hips down, you're in Warrior Two. So guide your right knee open towards your right pinky toes. Unlock your back left knee. And as you press through your palms, lift your butt up and back towards the long edge of your mat. A deeper breath in through your nose. And a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Bend 1 more inch into the right knee as you guide it away from your right armpit. Nice, y'all. Keep your head heavy. Start to turn your right knee and toes back through to lunge. Lift your gaze. And all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right, back into your forward fold. Inhale lengthens you halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Same thing on the second side. Keep your left foot forward, slide your right foot all the way back to lunge. Spin your right heel to the floor, and with your hands on blocks or fingertips, walk your palms to the right corner of your mat so your body comes to the inside of your left leg. Now with your hands forward of your shoulders and even wider than your shoulders, use your palms. Try to push them down and forward and feel that reverberate up through the hips to lift them up and back towards the door you came in. Now a slow breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale. You might bend into your left knee as you guide your left knee open towards the pinky toes, away from your left shoulder. Nice, everyone. Walk your hands back to frame out your left foot. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat and take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels 1 at a time. See if there's any subtle or drastic difference. And with those hands as wide as your mat, take up a little more room. Inhale to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. A slow breath in to rise for Cobra. Hug your shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, there's no rush. Lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. and begin to pivot your hands and feet over to the left to come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Now let all 10 toes point in the same direction. And for my friends whose knees easily lock out, take a tiny bend in your knees that you might not even see. Now everyone, can you try to lift and spread all 10 of your toes? Feel the arches in the corners of your feet. And keeping the toes lifting, try to hug your feet towards each other. Let the inner thighs engage. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, lower just the big toe. Then the other 8 toes without gripping as you start to bend your elbows and bow in towards yourself. There's this constant pulsation. Each breath in, the legs and feet hug together to engage the inner thighs. And each exhale, keeping that stability, then you fold and bow in. Nice, y'all. Let your head stay heavy here. Start to turn your right knee and toes to find your lunge. Heel toe your right foot an inch or 2 over to the right. And on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms up to the sky. In your lunge, find a point to gaze that steadies you. And now lift your back heel, knee and thigh high. Stretch up through the fingertips. Try to look away from the floor as you take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into your front knee. Now hands come to your hips. A tiny bend in that back leg and all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Stand through the floor, through the right leg, and now grow up and out through the crown of your head. As you lower both of your feet down to the ground, bend your knees, sit back into your chair, lean into your left foot, lift your right heel, and for standing figure 4, cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Your hands can come anywhere to steady you. The aim of the game is the hip opener in the outer right hip. So feel free to grab the wall or become high onto blocks out in front of you, or even reach your arms up overhead. But remember the breath, a longer breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, think butt heavier to the back of the room as you lift your gaze away from the floor. And now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Lower your feet to the ground, let gravity catch you. Take a big breath in to reach your arms up and grab onto your right wrist. Grow 1 inch taller and up and over to the left for standing crescent. For this one, your hips might sway over to the right, even off center. But as you tip to the left, think ribs back. Bring the ears back to lift your chin. And maybe slide your arms to come right back in line with your ears to broaden through the chest. And now inhale to come all the way back up, reach up to touch the sky. As you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet all the way back to come to downward facing dog. And with those hands as wide as your mat, inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise, cobra, kiss the shoulder blades together, and exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap for the second side. We'll add a shoulder stretch onto this one. So as you lift your left leg up and back, step your left foot through to find your lunge. You might bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right and come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the other direction. Now all of those same things apply. Unlock the knees, lift and spread the toes, and hug the feet together. Now grab onto your strap or interlace your fingers at your low back, but start with your elbows quite bent here to begin. Kiss the shoulder blades together, let your head be heavy, and start to reach your arms off of your butt to the sky without letting the elbows lock out. Keep a little bend in the knees, an even smaller bend in the elbows. And as you keep a bend in those elbows, try to tug your strap apart, kiss the shoulder blades together on your upper back as you bow in towards yourself. Breathe in there, a slow breath in, and a longer breath out as you bow in towards your own heart. And now slowly with care, release your hands back to your butt, ditch your strap off to the side. Start to turn your left knee and toes to find your lunge. Heel toe your left foot a few inches to the left And on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge to the sky. Find a point of gaze that steadies you. And it's here as you lift your back thigh higher away from the ground, stretch up through the fingertips, and bend into your left knee while the right thigh stays lifting to the sky. Now you might keep your hands overhead or bring into your hips, but get springy and a big leap to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Down through the floor to grow taller in every direction. And as both feet touch down onto the ground, bend your knees, sit back into your chair, lean into your right foot, lift your left heel, and cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Anywhere your hands go to steady you, blocks, the wall, up overhead, do your best to flex the left foot to support your left knee and ankle. And remember the breath, a longer breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, think butt heavy as your gaze maybe lifts away from the floor. On an inhale, come all the way up to rise. Lower your feet, feel the ground beneath you, and a big breath in to reach your arms up as you grab your left wrist, 2 inches taller, and then keep that as you tip up and over to the right. Here, your hips might move to the left, but as you tip to the right, think ears back to lift the chin, and imagine like the right side of your belly could turn open to the ceiling, like a sunflower reaching for the sun. A big breath in and a deeper breath out. And now inhale to return, reach up to touch the sky, and as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant those palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet to the back of your mat for downward facing dog. And on your inhale, come through to plank pose. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach your arms alongside of you. Turn your palms down to face the floor. And as you rest on your forehead or on your chin for a moment, feel your legs in space. Try to push your feet down to feel your kneecaps and even your thighs lift. And hug your inner thighs together. Now push your palms down to hug the shoulder blades together. As you inhale, begin to lift your head, lift your chest, float those arms up off of the floor, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground for locust pose. As you take flight, try to soften or even close your eyes and remember the breath first. Each inhale, think inner thighs towards each other and the insides of your pants towards the ceiling. Now hug the shoulder blades together and lift your palms 1 more inch, a big breath in. And as you exhale, lower all the way back to the floor. You can make a pillow with your hands. You might rest on one side of your cheek or on your forehead. But listen for the fullness of your own breath. The beauty of the breath is you never once have to think about it. It's always there and forever present. But the moment you remember your breath, it's like a true devotee to yourself. It remembers you back in return. So if you're on one side of your cheek or have one palm on top, you might switch just to keep it even as you take a long breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips, and let some part of you get heavier against the earth. Now after a few breaths, bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up through to tabletop, and you might, in a moment, have your blanket slightly off to the right side of your mat. You may or may not use it in the next places we're moving towards. But with your blanket close by, your blocks close by, make your way to downward facing dog. One more time, revisit it as your hips lift to the ceiling. Now from your down dog, lift your right leg up and back. And once the right leg lifts, pause and take a few breaths here. Can you turn your right hip and toes down to face the floor? Flex your right foot and try to straighten your right knee as if your right heel could touch the wall behind you. Now lift your right inner thigh 1 more inch, slide the ribs back and come onto your left tippiest of tippy toes. Look between your hands and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for your lizard lunge. You'll lower your left knee down onto the blanket or down onto the floor and come high onto blocks or fingertips inside of that right foot. We'll back our way into this one. So here, As you come high up onto your fingertips or blocks, you might bring the blanket with you. Walk your left knee back and bring your hands all the way back with you to come more upright. Maybe 1 more inch, walk the right knee back and walk your hands back. And now imagine like you're getting tugged from your tail. Instead of just locking this right knee out, pitch your hips back to straighten this right leg and flex the right foot. Now everyone, unlock the right knee, especially if it tends to hyperextend. Everyone, dig your right heel into the ground and try to drag your right heel back. See where that shifts in the back of your right leg. Now push into your blocks or the floor to lift your chest up tall. You'll keep your left fingertips connected as your right hand comes to your right hip. Wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, unlock the right knee, and let your belly twist to the right. Stay right here. Maybe you reach your right arm up to the ceiling, but as you peel the right pinky toes back, hug the shoulder blades together and lean back for twisted half split. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out as you slide the ears back. Let your head come in line with your heart. Good. Inhale to unwind. Lower your hands to the floor, bend your front knee, and peel yourself all the way back to downward facing dog as your hips lift to the sky. Pedal those heels one at a time. Take a breath to see any shifts. And now similar yet different, as you inhale, lift the left leg up and back. And this time, bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand, revisiting. You'll lower your right knee to the floor. And a thigh stretch, we're getting the whole right leg addressed, back and front and sides of the leg. So as you come up onto your fingertips or blocks, up to you, like you did in that down dog lunge, walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat. Look over your right shoulder, say hi to your right foot, and now bend your right knee to lift your right toes up off the ground. Reach your right hand around for the top of your right foot or a strap or the leg of your pants. Now here, look at the belly. Think ribs back and see what that does in the right thigh. Now hug the shoulder blades together as you look away from the ground. Stay here and breathe. You might walk your left hand to the inside of your left foot. You might play with some balance and climb your left palm to the top of your left thigh. You might also reach your left arm up overhead for all of these versions of Anjaneyasana, or leaping monkey, the prep for where we're moving towards. A full breath in and a deeper breath out as you bend into your left knee. Can you look away from the ground to where you're going? And now let your left hand release down first, then let go of your back foot. Plant your palms and all the way back to downward facing dog. I was a lot on the right leg. We got the back, some of the side, some of the front. So before we even go to the second side, can you soften or close your eyes and notice what a difference can make? Now same thing as you lift the left leg up and back. Pause, flex your left foot and straighten the left knee. Sometimes to lift the leg higher, we turn the hip open to the sky. See what it feels like to wrap the left hip down. And now slide the ribs away from your right thigh. Come onto your right tippiest of tippy toes. Lift your left inner thigh 1 more inch to the front of the room. And now look between your hands as you step the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Lower your right knee onto any padding that you need. Come high onto your fingertips or blocks. And for Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, we whack it in. Walk the right knee back and really bring those hands all the way back with you so you can come more upright. Walk the knee back and bring your hands back. And now that long tail gets tugged as you send your butt back, lengthen and straighten that left leg. Take a peek at your own left toes. My big toes always reach faster back. Try to reach the pinky toes back as much as the big toe. Unlock your left knee, please, and try to drag your left heel back. Now press into your blocks to lift your chest away from the ground. Keep your right hand connected. Bring your left hand to your left hip crease. And as you wrap your left hip back, Shrug the left shoulder up and back, and from the depths of your belly, start to turn open to the left. Think left pinky toes back. Shoulder blades together as you lean back, and maybe the left arm reaches to the sky, but remember the breath, a full breath in and down, and a longer breath out as you think ribs back, shoulder blades together, and the sides of your throat back. And now inhale to unwind, lower your hands back to your sticky mat, bend your left knee as you peel yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, take a breath to see any shifts. And for the last round, inhale, the right leg lifts. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand and lower the left knee onto any padding that you so choose. Come high onto your blocks or fingertips. And for Anjaneyasana, low lunge with a thigh stretch, walk your hands over to the left, peek over the left shoulder, bend your left knee to lift the left toes up off the ground. And the higher your right hand is up on a block, the more access you might find to finding that left foot. There's a whole world to visit right here, breathing as you lift your gaze away from the floor. Or any of those variations you did on the first side apply. You can walk your right hand to the inside of the foot. You might climb it up onto your thigh or reach it up overhead, but try to look away from the floor to where you're going. A full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, think bottom ribs back. Lift your gaze away from the ground and keep that as you bend into your front knee and thigh. And now release that right hand, let go of your back foot, step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, take a breath to see any shifts you might notice from side to side. And now your choice, always stay right here with your breath. You can lower your knees to the ground at any point and take those breaths closer to gravity. Or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together before. But can you let it be in reverence to your breath? Slow down that next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out through your nose or mouth. Okay, from your downward facing dog, from your next few breaths, spoiler alert, we'll meet in downward facing dog. And string a few things that we've done together. So on your inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet over to the left and come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. And now with your hands on fingertips or blocks, come up halfway to lengthen. Push into the floor to lift your chest up. You'll look at your left toes and turn your left toes to face the corner of your mat. And for Skandasana, begin to bend your left knee and feel your hips move towards that back left heel. Some people like to keep the right foot fully on the ground. Some like to turn the right knee and toes up to the sky, but unlock this right knee. Walk your hands forward and push your fingertips down to lift your chest up. There's a lot to do right here breathing. I invite you to stay, or maybe the hips get lower towards that left heel. Maybe the hands get lighter as you lift your gaze away from the floor. But take a long breath in and down. Stay for your exhale to offer that breath out. And now push into your left foot to straighten your left leg. Start to turn your right knee and toes to find your lunge. Do bring those blocks out to either side of your right foot. And as you keep the blocks there on an inhale, last time, come up to high lunge. Lift your back heel, knee and thigh high. Stretch up through the fingertips, look away from the ground. And now soften the back knee, another leap, all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Stand through the floor, grow up and out through the crown of your head. And this time, bend your right knee like chair pose. Start to hinge from your hips for warrior 3. Your hands might come to your hips. They might tap those blocks out in front of you for support. Or you might keep them reaching up overhead in front of you. But as you straighten your left leg, flex the left foot, reach back through your left heel, and slide the bottom of your heart forward. How long can you get? A full breath in through your nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now bend your right knee just enough to tap the left toes back to lunge. Take a big breath in, reach up, touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, plant your palms and step it back to downward facing dog. That's it. Pedal the heels, take a breath, and see any shifts from one side to the other. And now last side, inhale to lift the left leg up. Step it through to find your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet over to the right with or without blocks to come into your wide-legged forward fold. Unlock the knees, hug the feet to center, and now walk your hands forward as you push into your fingertips, lift your chest, come up halfway to lengthen. Look at the back right foot, and as you turn your right toes to face the back corner of your mat, bend your right knee and let your hips get heavy towards the heel. Can you guide your right knee open towards your right pinky toes? And now instead of folding forward, push into your blocks, lift your chest, reach your heart towards the brick wall. Stay here with your hands connected. Or as you guide your right knee open, maybe the hips get a little lower and the hands get light. Skandasana. Try to keep the right heel glued to the floor the whole time. A big breath in and down. Stay for the exhale as you offer the breath out. And now push through the right foot to straighten your right leg. Turn the right knee and toes to find your lunge. And last time, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms up to the sky. Find a point to gaze that steadies you and remember the breath. A deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale as you offer the breath out. And now springy off that back foot, a big leap to scoop the right thigh to your chest. Stand down through the floor in known territory to grow up and out into the unknown. And as you unlock your standing knee, start to hinge from your hips, reach your chest forward, and extend that right leg back. It's less about how high the right leg is, but can it be engaged? Flex the foot and straighten your right leg. And as you reach back through the right heel, slide the bottom of your heart forward. How long can you get as you leap? Breathing. Soften the left knee so you can tap the right toes all the way back to lunge. Take a big breath in, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, plant your palms, and all the way back to downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. Lower your knees to the ground and breathe, or let your breath take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. And try to slow down that next breath in and really lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. And now after a few breaths, anywhere you find yourself, you'll lower both knees onto the floor, come into tabletop. Feel free to sit back onto your heels, sip some water, take a breath or two, and see what shifts. We're going out with a bang for the last day of full splits. We're getting it in every angle possible, but we have made it. All of the leaps completed to where we're moving towards. Yeah? Okay, so the reminder, Hanumanasana, full splits. It's less about, depending on mobility, depending on flexibility, for some, getting pelvis down on the ground is like no problem whatsoever. For others, getting the pelvis down on the ground is life's work, lifetimes of work. So I'm less concerned about how high or low the pelvis is, but more, what are you engaging in order to create more space for yourself? And we've been doing this all throughout class. So this is what this next final exclamation point on the Hanumanasana series is going to look like. I'll show it to you, then I'll talk you through it. And a reminder, there's infinite variations to take and places to pause and recollect. So in a second, this is what it'll look like. You'll come from down dog, and now a lot of this might look familiar. I have to do this side. Okay. You'll bring one foot to the outside of your hand, and this back knee will come down onto any padding. You'll walk your hands up onto, I suggest coming up onto fingertips or blocks, because this is less about bowing in, but more about staying upright. And now we come into Ardha Hanumanasana. The knee comes back and your hands come back. Then the butt goes back. Yes? So we were here before. You might notice it feels similar or different, but I invite you to breathe. And then the next stage is you walk your hands away from the leg, and I'll talk you through rights and lefts, and spin your knees and feet down onto the ground. This is wide-legged forward fold, but your back knee happens to be on the floor. And the reason I'm getting you into this is because I want you to feel the engagement of your muscles. You'll hug your legs together and send your butt back. We all have 3 hamstrings in the backs of our legs. Usually you feel one more than the other 2. The idea, this small little shift might help you feel the other 2 hamstrings a little more fully. So you hug the legs in, you lift your chest, and then you come back. There might be just space to breathe into in there. Or there might be physical space to walk the knee back and bring your hands back with you. And it's the same actions, the knee coming back and the hands coming back. And you're hugging your legs together. As you hug the legs together, maybe the hands feel lighter. As you hug the legs together, beep, 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 beep. As you hug the legs together, you might come up onto fingertips. You might come up to your hips. You might also reach your arms up overhead. You take a few breaths here as your hands tap down, and then you drag it back. Sound effects are encouraged. The only reason my hands get light is because I am pulling my feet together. If my feet were to go apart, I would weeble down to the floor, but it's the hugging of the legs that gives your chest more space. I always say this, if you saw that and you said, Anisha, it's raining, I don't want to do it for any reason whatsoever, there's 0 obligation. It's those actions that I'm looking for. Hugging of the legs in and the chest tall. Okay, one more on each side and then we go to sleep. Last round. Come to downward facing dog, please. Have your blocks and your blanket within a grabbable distance. You might use them. And now from your down dog, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your back knee onto any padding that you so choose and come high onto your fingertips or blocks. Now walk your left knee back. Bring your hands all the way back with you. Walk your knee back and bring your hands back. And now get tugged by that tail. Send your butt all the way back to straighten your right knee as you flex your foot and lift your chest. Breathe here, in and down. And as you exhale, feel the breath move up and out. Now I invite you to stay here the whole time, trying to unlock the right knee. Or to feel those other hamstrings, you'll start to walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Swing your left heel to the right, and turn your right foot to the floor like you would in wide-legged forward fold. Now walk your fingertips forward, lift your chest up, and without moving your feet, hug the feet to center until you feel those inner thighs engage. Stick your butt out, lift your chest up, keep that space that you've just created as you walk your hands back to the front of your mat. You might frame out your right leg as you swing your left heel to the back of the room. And now walk your hands back. Breathe here. Maybe you walk the back knee back as you bring your hands back. Walk the back knee back as you bring your hands back. Walk the back knee back, even emotionally as you walk your hands back. And now unlock your right knee, drag the right heel back, the left knee and thigh more forward as you lift your chest up. Maybe the fingertips feel lighter on the blocks. Maybe you come onto your fingertips. Maybe it's hands to your hips. Maybe it's hands to the shoulders. Maybe it's hands up overhead, but try to look away from the ground. Use your lip too. A long breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Grow 1 inch taller through the bottom of your heart. And now slowly release your hands back to the floor or blocks. Drag the right heel back to take it back to tabletop. A breath on all fours. And then downward facing dog. Should we just knock out the other side? That looked great. It sounded great. I heard a lot of breath going through, and also everyone was choosing the direction they wanted to move towards, which is what I want to see. So let's try the last side. Inhale to lift the left leg up. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and lower the back knee down. There's no rush. Pause. Lift your gaze. And with your hands on your blocks or fingertips, walk the back knee back and bring your hands all the way back with you. Walk the knee back and bring your hands back. And as you press into the blocks, lift your chest away from the floor. Now you'll start to straighten your front leg. Get tugged by the tail to flex your left foot and straighten the knee. This time, keep all of that as you walk your hands over to the right corner of the right side of your mat. Swing your right heel to the left and turn your left toes to the floor. We want that muscle engagement to start. So hug the feet to center, like pull the right knee forward, the left foot back, stick your butt out and lift your chest up. You breathe in, try to breathe in there. Now keep all of that as you walk those hands back forward to frame out your left shin or your thigh. As you lift your gaze, walk the back knee back. Bring your hands back with you. Walk the back knee back. Bring your hands all the way back with you. Walk the knee back and bring your hands back. And as you try to drag your left heel back, your right hip forward so that your hips are facing the front of the room, press into the fingertips, lift your gaze up, breathe. Keep your fingertips on those blocks. Maybe they feel just an ounce lighter. Maybe they come onto your hips. Maybe they reach up overhead. Hanumanasana, full splits, leaping from the unknown into the unknown. Can you see where you're going? And hold it with your breath itself. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now after a few breaths, beautiful, tap your hands to the floor. Peel your left foot back to tabletop. Clear the blocks out of the way and make your way into the last downward facing dog of class as your hips lift to the sky. With those hands as wide as your mat, take a big breath in through the nose. And open your mouth to let that breath out. On an inhale, come through to plank just for a breath and lower all the way down to your belly. Take a few extra breaths in your cobra. Hug the shoulder blades together. Think ribs back, the shoulder blades together, and slide the sides of your throat back as you drink in that breath. And on your exhale, release as you lower down to the ground. You'll press up through to tabletop and come to flip over onto your back so that your head is facing the front of the room. Feet are to the back. You'll have your therapy balls somewhere you can reach them. I can bring some over to you if anyone needs them. And have your block somewhere that you can grab onto it as well, just so you don't have to get up until it's time to leave. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor, and give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or chest. Make some small circles in that right ankle, moving it clockwise and counterclockwise. Spread and point the toes and feel the arches of your feet. And now the next time the right ankle comes through center, begin to watch for props or neighbors as you straighten your left leg long out in front of you. A twist on your back. Let your left hand hold the outside of your right thigh. And move your right leg up and over to the left. I like to bring a lot of blocks underneath my right thigh because it's less about how close the right thigh can get to the floor, but how much can both of your shoulder blades stay connected to the ground. And as that right leg gets heavy to the left, let the back of your head soften to the ground. Take a long breath in. Stay for your exhale and imagine your left heel could extend longer towards the back of the room. Now on your next breath, draw your right leg back up through center. Lower your right foot to the floor. Take a breath into any shifts that you might see or feel. And for the second side, give your left leg a hug. Start with those circles in the ankle. We spend a lot of time on the feet. Spread and point the toes and remember the fullness of your breath. And as you straighten your right leg long in front of you for Supta Padangustasana C, move your left leg up and over to the right, bringing as many blocks underneath that left thigh as feel supportive to bring the floor to meet you where you are. Can you trace the currents of your own breath? Now, a long time ago, I told you that story of Hanuman doing these full leaps and splits into one universe, from one universe to the other. But that story also ends when he returns back to the forest. And one of the characters, Ram, asks him, "For what does your heart beat? For what does this come, where does this come from?" And the story goes that Hanuman cracks his own chest open and shows, instead of his beating heart, it's the face of Ram, the one he is most devoted to. So as you inhale and draw the left leg back up through center, give both of your legs a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Find any symmetry in the right and left side and the front and back. You might make small circles with your knees, feeling your low and middle back connected to the ground. But take a long breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. For a brief moment, I'll talk you through some therapy ball work in the back of the head. But if you'd prefer to set up early for rest, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll meet you there momentarily. But it's up to you. You can keep the therapy balls in their tote or take them out. But begin to lift your head just an inch up off of the earth and pop the therapy balls to the very base of your skull. So we all have those two bony points at the bottom of your skull and the top of your neck. If it doesn't feel too tender, the therapy balls can come right onto those 2 points as you stay holding them and let your elbows drop down onto the floor. And then on your own, begin to nod your head yes, and slowly nod your head no, and explore this entire territory in the back of your skull. These occipital lobes are where muscles in your neck and jaw connect to the skull itself. They hold a lot of information. So can you take another soft breath in and a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips? And now after a few breaths in the bottom of your skull, you can bring those therapy balls up a little bit higher, more to the middle, somewhere slightly different than where you just were. They can be very close together, they can be slightly farther apart. But as you take a long breath in, as you exhale through your nose or mouth, begin to slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no. When you nod your head no to the right, you might nod your head yes when you're there. And same to the left. But after a few breaths in the bottom and middle of the skull, pop the therapy balls out as you let the weight of your head get heavy to the floor once again. And as you begin to drape your body onto the earth in a way that feels as supportive as possible in your Shavasana, you might let your hair down or set your glasses off to the side for the time being. But it's here where all of the leaps are completed. And the breath continues to remain. And the story of Hanuman, it's a reminder of that ultimate devotion within yourself, where each breath is an offering to the full fluency of your own body. So without any hold or counts or shifting of the breath itself, for these next few moments, can you let each soft and steady breath dissolve the entire practice that was? Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after creates just a little more room for what has yet to come. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in and down. Let it fill you up. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head softly from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any props or neighbors, you might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach your arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. And with the least amount of effort needed, push into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly opened or softly closed, take a longer breath in and down as it fills you up, and exhale to offer the breath up and out. We'll close our time with each other with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to center anywhere that feels for you. As you take a long breath in, to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple yet profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each one of you all. Thank you so much for choosing to be here and being together. Thank you, everyone. Stay dry, drink water, take care of yourselves and each other. I think the sun is out, so we might have a window. But we're done with splits. So you did it. Whether you knew you were coming to a splits class or didn't, I'm happy you all were here. I'll see you soon. If there's any props or mats you use from the studio or yours you want to give them a swipe with, there's a fresh bucket of wipes. And until then, I'll see you later. Thank you. Anyone else have announcements? Things that you are doing or seeing or going to? Summer's always quiet. Me too. I'm like just the yoga and then lying down. But if there are announcements, please do share. We'd love to hear them. Alex, are you guys doing more events at Good Good? A class? A chocolate class? That's fun. Yay. Yeah, for the fall, for the kids in the fall, meaning myself. Thank you for tomorrow. I appreciate it so much. Mariel invited us to a last minute event and I was like, I want to come, but
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, of course. I was available, so I was like, why not?
Normally, are you free Tuesday nights?
I'm free
All the time.
It's just
Okay.
I try not to sub every class that's available to sub. You shouldn't.
Well, I have one more week coming. I'll text it to you or email it to you.